All right, Monday was kind of a big day, a really big day, in fact, for the 49ers as they opened the practice window for Ricky Pearsall. He remains on the non-football injury list, but a lot of very happy people to see him out there taking part in his first practice since that August 31st shooting. I'm going to talk a lot more about the rookies, Ricky Pearsall, and a rookie who has a very big assignment in this game coming up. But first, just want to remind you that this is brought to you by Canyon Club Brewery in Moraga. It's a restaurant, a beer garden, great fresh beer and delicious bites and a very family friendly atmosphere in Moraga. And coming soon to the Livery in Danville, right off of 680. So, a go to spot for me in Moraga, and it'll certainly be a go to spot for me in Danville as well. So, as I mentioned, Ricky Pearsall was out there wearing number 14 on the practice field, and you could tell just we weren't out there for very long. It was a short practice, about a 40-minute practice that the 49ers had. So the media wasn't out there for very long, just kind of the warm up part of it as the 49ers have a bonus practice playing the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday in week 7. But Pearsall, you could just feel the energy of him on the field and just he was dancing and he was really excited to be out there and rightfully so. Um, Before practice started, after the warm-up situation, the team always gets together. A lot of guys, high-fiving each other and just kind of getting psyched up for the practice. So it's a daily tradition for the 49ers. But this time, before breaking into their position groups and starting practice, it looked like Fred Warner and George Kittle kind of encouraged Ricky to be the one that breaks down the team before everybody scatters and goes their own way, like I said, to their position group. So that was something to see. And then, according to Dominic Pooney, after practice, Coach Kyle Shanahan also had Ricky Pearsall do the same thing. So now, the ball, in a lot of ways, is in Ricky Pearsall's court to see how he fits into the 49ers offense, his readiness to play when the 49ers could activate him to the 53-man roster and have him be eligible to play in a game. So by opening the practice window, that's a 21-day practice window, but the 49ers could elevate him to the 53-man at any point between now and that 21st day. And so at the end of 21 days, assuming that Pearsall makes it that far before being activated. And I think he will get activated before then. It's just a matter of when he'll be placed on the 53-man roster. But as the rule goes, after 21 days, the team then has to make a decision whether to keep the player on that injury list. In this case, NFI, could be PUP, or it could be injured reserve. Or and if you keep him on the list, they can't play the rest of the season, or to bring him to the 53-man roster. Some of the lower roster guys the team could cut after 21 days or trade as well. But obviously, Ricky Pearsall, the plan is for him to get back out there on the playing field. He's on the practice field now, but to get out there and make a contribution to the 49ers as a first round draft pick. I did talk to Malik Mustafa and I asked him about what he saw from Pearsall. Mustafa, also a rookie, obviously, what he saw from Pearsall during the offseason program and training camps. And the things that he talked about was how Ricky is a very polished route runner, that he has really good speed, and he's very detailed in what he does. And he says that he would expect there to be a lot of yards after the catch with Pearsall because of his route running, his ability to separate, and then that speed that he has. He calls him a great playmaker and says it'll be really good to see him out there making plays against an opposition because up to this point, it's just been, 49ers versus 49ers as far as when Pearsall was out there, running routes and playing against his own defense. He did not appear in any of the preseason games. He still has a wrap on his left shoulder. That's the shoulder where he had the shoulder subluxation that popped out and popped back in. It happened once at Florida, once in the spring, and again in training camp. And he missed 19 days of practice due to that. But he has been fully cleared. He's not wearing the blue no contact jersey. And we'll see just exactly how long it'll take him to prove to Kyle Shanahan, prove to Leonard Hankerson, prove to the 49ers offensive staff, and to John Lynch when he should get out there on the field. But let's make no mistake. The reason the 49ers drafted Ricky Pearsall was because, in large part, of what the 49ers saw in the Super Bowl, where the Kansas City Chiefs played a lot of man coverage. 49ers had problems separating. Ricky Pearsall is seen as a guy who can separate against man coverage. Okay, talking about the blue non-contact jersey, 49ers don't have to issue any kind of practice participation report or injury report on Monday, but Jordan Mason was out there in a blue no contact jersey. He has the left shoulder injury, AC joint sprain. So his availability is a little bit up in the air, but certainly encouraging that he was out there on the practice field on Monday. Jordan Elliott did not practice with the left knee issue. Jake Moody is going to be out a couple weeks still with the high ankle sprain, the kicker. And I didn't see Matthew Wright out there, the replacement kicker who has a shoulder injury of his own. Malik Mustafa, he was rehabbing. He was going through physical therapy on a side field. Didn't look like he practiced, but Charvarius Ward was out there. Fred Warner, of course, Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle, and Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles. Okay, talking about the rookie class, 49ers have gotten really good contributions early on from their rookie class, and that's even without their number one pick being out there, Pearsall. But probably the guy who's played the best and right now looks like pretty much a slam dunk for the NFL All-Rookie team would be Dominic Pooney. And he talked about Ricky Pearsall and how there's this bond of the rookie class because the rookies have a meeting every week to just go over financial stuff and stuff to look out for as rookies transitioning from the college ranks to the NFL, social media, stuff like that. And that's something that is done kind of as far as the developmental phase from the 49ers, just getting the rookies up to speed. So this rookie class that meets weekly, they do have a very good bond. And Pooney said that when he saw number 14 out there, Ricky Pearsall, at practice on Monday, he said he just couldn't help but start smiling. And he's obviously looking forward to seeing Ricky Pearsall get on the field during a regular season game and make an impact. Okay, back to Pooney. Talk about where things went wrong in the Super Bowl. And one of the big plays was just a blown pass blocking assignment where Spencer Burford, who came into that game to play right guard in place of John Feliciano. Feliciano was injured. Burford came in and Burford busted an assignment and did not block Chris Jones. Chris Jones is a game wrecker for the Kansas City Chiefs defensive tackle. And guess who's going to be lined up against Chris Jones for a good portion of that game? It's going to be Dominic Pooney. So Dominic Pooney said he first started watching film of Chris Jones this week, just today, that he kind of took the weekend off to just kind of recalibrate and went to the beach and hung out and rested his body. But on Monday was the first time he started looking at Chris Jones and said that he's just a playmaker and a guy that he knows will offer a huge challenge. He said when he was making the move into the NFL, one of the guys he looked forward to playing against was Aaron Donald. Well, Aaron Donald retired. Chris Jones is still out there. So that will certainly be a matchup to watch in this game, 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. So the 49ers rookie class has been doing very well. The 49ers are expecting them to get even better, I think, as this season goes on. So that's it for now. And we'll be back in the course of the week to provide more content and talk more about this upcoming matchup, the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs.